I welcome you all on behalf of J&K Chemdist. So, first of all, this is our first major event after becoming J&K Chemdist. So, this is, as most of you know, this is not a booth inauguration or any technology launch, but it is something even much bigger than that. So, it's a launching of our vision of our pursuit towards carbon capture, and that too a very under the able guidance of Dr. Professor R.R. Sonde. So along with him, of course, I am joined by all the partners, Mr. Deepak Bharuka, who is CEO of J&K India, Mr. Arvind Kamath, Chairman, J&K India, R. Gautam sir, one of the directors, partners in J&K India, Mr. Pankaj Gupta, who is the Chief Marketing Officer, J&K India, or J&K, I should only say J&K now.
J&K.
Tushar, of course, you all know, and I hope you all know me. So, it is very customary to say that our chief guest needs no introduction, or his introduction will take so and so much time. I am sure in this field, we all know Dr. Sonde. He is a stalwart of not just the green initiatives, but he wears many hats. He is a visiting professor at right now, whether it is IIT Delhi, Abu Dhabi campus, then IIT Gandhinagar, IIT Ropar, BITS, Pilani, multiple campuses like Goa, Hyderabad. Most of you know him as the ex-CTO Thermax. Also, he was one of the executive board members in Thermax, ex-executive director at NTPC, and one of the major contributions to India. He's an excellent scientist for atomic energy. That is how he was, associated with BARC. And on top of all this, currently also chairing the task force of Government of India Niti Ayog's Green Methanol Mission. And we are so lucky to have him here today, to have him with us, to be part of our vision and what he is going to lead us on carbon capture to multiple, products, valuable fuels. So that is what he is here for. Now I pass on the Tushar.
Welcome all. Really honored to have sir on board to guide us for this vision, and we all of from J&K team assure you that we'll try to match up your energy and expectations. I request Arvindji to just felicitate it.
Sir, I
Thank you.
Sir.
Gautam, आपको इसे
Thank you.
So I request Sonde sir now to some few words of wisdom to us. All of us are eager to hear you now.
And then we can.
All right. I'll stand up and then talk to you all. If it's okay with you, I think I can say all of you. Very nice. When I see the young crowd, I really get that, I derive energy from all of you. Though I am on a side of 70 plus, and to that extent I'm fossilized. But I really, when I see the young people and then energetic leadership here, so I feel that it is a very important moment for me to say a few words. In the sense, I don't want to get into any motivational or some kind of a thing. But the fact that India is at the crossroads, okay, we have reached something, let's say, $4 trillion economy that India is today after about 75 years of post-independence. And I've been traveled at last 5 decades as to how this kind of a science and technology unfolded. Now, what is up to us from this $4 trillion economy to a $30 trillion economy in next 2 decades is a mind-boggling task. That India has to reach $30 trillion is given. I don't think there's any argument, it is aspirational. I don't think so. I think India deserves, and I think we will do it. But what is that path from $4 trillion to a $30 trillion economy will not be the same path what has happened from a $0 trillion to a $4 trillion economy. Definitely it's going to be very disruptive because the science has become disruptive. Please understand. I mean, I'm not saying that the physics have changed, laws of chemistry, laws of physics have changed, laws LAWS has changed. No, it is not. But the way the whole now the rendition of the technology and science is entirely different. It is mind-boggling, my dear friends here. And it sometimes gives me goosebumps. I feel very high about it. Because when the way we used to develop new catalysts, new materials, new sorbents, it would take years for us to develop those molecules. And today when you look at this whole intervention of the artificial intelligence and the molecular modeling that is coming out, and I'm not just saying for the sake of it, you find, oh my goodness, the whole mechanics from a Newtonian mechanics has come down to the quantum mechanics, and therefore the rules of the game had changed. But the problem of that rules of the game is that monopolies. It is becoming highly monopolized. When Demis Hassabis develops AlphaFold, and I'm sure all of you know that AlphaFold, what it started with AlphaGo and then AlphaChess, and then he went to AlphaGo, and going from artificial intelligence to artificial general intelligence, you get a shock. My goodness, what is happening out there? 6 companies will have multi-trillion dollar as a kind of a thing, which is bigger than any countries. So that is one kind of a thing that is happening. And therefore, how do you match the aspirations of the country with the aspirations of an institution and tap into the development is really for me a big question mark. Today, as Sunil mentioned, that I'm at 6 IITs and I teach and I go and consult industries. All this thing I'm doing it, I'm becoming crazy. Arvind, I've never been so busy in my life. So I used to be hard work, but today it is 24/7 and 7 days. There's no holiday. I enjoy it. Of course, that's passionate for me to do it, and I've never been. Is only to communicate young people like you to actually put your heart and soul. This work-life balance and all that is not for us, okay? Please, I mean, I just don't like it. Not that I support what Narayan Murthy is saying and all that. I know family is important. I do take care of family.
Your life.
Huh?
Your life.
Absolutely. I want it to be like.
We don't want Mr. Subramaniam.
No, I understand. But please, I mean, see, today I don't want to say something because it's good. I have no axe to grind. I have lived my life. I can just disappear. So therefore, I say what I say. I do what I do. I'm not, because that's the freedom that I've got. What I'm only saying is that hard work is extremely important. India, we have got intellect, we have got talent. 2 things we lack is this working in a team spirit, in a collaborative manner. How? Because we know that today's science, what we understood, has become completely multidisciplinary. It is interdisciplinary. There is nothing like a particular branch of science. Chemdist, JNK, if you look at it now, it's more of all the discipline, material science and molecular modeling and chemical engineering and mechanical engineering and aerodynamics. Everything is coming together. And then on top of it, you've got AIML working as a digital twin to actually mimic so that you can do a diagnostics and various fault analysis much before the actual event takes place. So this is something which I just thought, let me talk to you. I can go on. I'll miss my flight if I do that. But one thing that Sunil wanted me to speak, and Tushar also said, is that out of all these things, yes, there is all excitement, everything that is there. But one thing is very important, is that India would need a lot of energy. To reach that $30 trillion economy, we would need at least nearly, I don't know, I've got my some numbers, about 3,200 million tons of oil equivalent or about 28,000 terawatt hours of energy. I mean, you can convert that into petajoules or whatever is comfortable dimension to you, but it is a huge challenge. And on top of it, we'll have to do it in a climate-friendly technologies is a double challenge that is put on all of us. No country in the world has developed under this challenge. China developed quickly by increasing their coal consumption from a 500 million ton when I was with NTPC. Now they are going up to 2.8 billion tons of coal. So they have reached a stage, and for them to now withdraw this fossil and introduce non-fossil is easier than India as it is climbing in this trajectory, that you have to do it in a manner that you have to take care of the carbon is a real challenge. It will demand an intellectual capabilities and challenge which is of a much higher order of magnitude than it is available. So therefore, when Tushar and Sunil approached me, I said, look, we can bet on renewable energy, no doubt, solar, wind, and all the renewable energy. We can talk about geothermal, we can talk about all the given, but they will not be able to meet all our requirements. You need storage technologies. Again, we can talk about many technologies, the lithium ion to sodium ion to flow batteries to Carnot batteries to whatever that you want to do it. Third, okay, we can talk about biomass. Yes, India has got a biomass, and we need to look at the biomass in a very different manner. And I'm glad that Chemdist earlier was looking at this particular thing. Then fourth, nuclear technologies. Yes, I come from nuclear. I know that nuclear will become one of the important and then the hydrogen technologies will come. But in all these discussions, when you want to reach that number of whatever, and with carbon taken, CCUS will become a very important. I'm convinced. I'm convinced in the sense I've become almost kind of a indoctrinated, which is not a good word to use, but I'm indoctrinated that India's movement for next 3 decades, till RE and nuclear becomes the option, RE with carbon capture and utilization and sequestration will be the pathway. Mind my words. I may not be here, but mind my words. And that is a pathway. I was telling Arvind that please look at this particular thing. So what do I look at this CCUS? Would require a longer discussion, which I will not do it. But simply stated is that there are 2 pathways. One is, can I take carbon out of the molecule before it is going into the energy conversion? That means pyrolysis. Cut the carbon chain. Methane pyrolysis, fossil pyrolysis, lot of biomass pyrolysis, so that you get the carbon char back into the soil because soil is deprived of the carbon. So that's one important technological component that we have to do, where we actually kind of convert carbon at the stage. Okay, that would have got its own implications. Then what else? That means other is that as the carbon dioxide is there in the air or in the flue gases, how do I kind of selectively pick up that carbon dioxide? Carbon is a valuable material. Carbon can replace, sir, all the steel and everything. The strength of the carbon fiber that we are talking about. So how do I now use that carbon as a chemical, as a structural materials, as a fuel is a very important technology. Yes, that it has to be married with the hydrogen, and then you have to do many things. So this is a host of technologies that are coming into that. So maybe you have your carbon dioxide. The first element is capture. How do I capture carbon dioxide? Either from the flue gases of all the carbon intensive steel plant, cement plant, power plant, fertilizer, petrochemicals, refineries. How do I capture carbon dioxide? Because you need to selectively capture carbon dioxide. And then what do you purify the carbon dioxide? Then you have to compress the carbon dioxide. And then you have to do something with that carbon dioxide. Do we do hydrogenation? Do I do a boron reaction? And there are at least 4 pathways that I have been telling them, let's build a system. So my kind of a concluding remarks is that this is one pathway I would request J&K to seriously take it, because in this last budget, which has been announced 3 days back, 20,000 crores has been kept for CCUS. Carbon capture, utilization and sequestration. That's a topic I'm passionate. I'm the chairman of the DST committee on carbon capture, and there's an enormous work that requires to be done. How do you build this whole technologies are there, but how do I make them commercially viable? What kind of a carbon taxation has to happen? What are the different ways? There's no one single silver bullet which meets the solution. What is good for cement plant may not be good for a steel plant, and what is good for a steel plant may not be okay for a aluminum plant, which requires a different ways of doing it. So my request, and especially to the team of J&K, is that whatever Chemdist has started, and now that you have come together, and of course 1 + 1 is always never true, it is going to be multiple levels. So let us do that. I will, sir, whatever that is required for your thing, I'm available, because I reached a stage where I only want to give so that it benefits ultimately to the nation building. And then of course, as they say, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, whatever we do will be always for global good, because there are 3 levels that we are talking about. First level is the science platform. So you have to build a science platform. I was telling you that science platform never, I mean, you must understand what is science platform very much, because I've worked in an EPC company like Thermax, but science platform is very important. What is that? We have got IP. Second platform is the translational platform. This is where you people are extremely good. I was telling that day that yes, if now I've got this top gas coming from a blast furnace, how do I convert that? I need to have a high temperature furnace. If I have to do it at 1270 degrees centigrade, I don't need any catalyst. At that temperature, I can convert all CO2 into useful product. Either you do it through an electrochemical or a pure thermal process is important, and you people are good at that, at the translation. And the third level is, of course, is the public good. I think keep that in mind, that what you are doing it is for a larger cause, for a public good. So with this, my thing, Sunil, I think on the particular part of what we are doing it, we have started a project. They wanted me to set up a skid mounted system where from a carbon dioxide, from a generation side, either coming from a combustion or a gasification, because there are different types of carbon dioxide. Some carbon dioxide come with NOx, SOx, particulate matter and carbon sulfide. Some carbon dioxide come with H2S, ammonia, reducing conditions. So you need to manage that carbon dioxide before it is sent to the capture. So we are trying to develop a kind of a comprehensive technological platform, and they want me to build on a skid mounted system, converting them into synthesis gas, converting them into methanol, converting them into dimethyl ether, and they have also ambition that they have added this to convert that into sustainable aviation fuels, so that from carbon dioxide we can get a sustainable aviation fuel. It's very ambitious, but I think we have the audacity to say that together we will be able to deliver. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that is really energetic guidance from Sonde sir, and we all ensure that we will try to, on behalf of J&K, I commit you that we will try to honor those things. I request officially just to inaugurate these technologies.